Ladies and gents, boys and girls, friends and degens around the world, welcome back. We got the full crew here today. It's been a while since we've had the full crew in here. We've had people out sick. We've had people traveling. We are back, full team. Our fearless leader, Jan, founder and CEO of Acquire.Fi, joining us along with Simple Jack, aka Andrew the Chart Man. We've had a lot happening in the last couple of days. We checked in with you guys. I don't know, did we do Thursday or Friday last week, Andrew?
We did Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. Lots happened over the weekend. Got a nice little bounce, maybe a bottom, maybe a dead cat bounce on Bitcoin here. Lots of stuff also happening on the macro picture. QT ending. We've got the Ethereum update set to go live today. A lot of great stories to cover. A lot of action in the charts. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on in here. Andrew, what do you got for us today? Looks like you got the old jam barometer back up again.
Andrew is super bullish today. He's been like promoting everything.
I'm not that bullish. I don't know. I'm pretty bullish.
Super bullish.
Told
me to buy everything.
Buy everything. No, don't do that.
Financial advice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to kind of look at the jam barometer. It's been a while. It's kind of interesting to see because like we were expecting this kind of big drop off in October, which I think we did see in the market. And then it was supposed to be like a pretty quick recovery after that, all the way up until kind of end of the year. We haven't really seen too much of that recovery yet in crypto, but I think if you look at equities, it's definitely already recovered from that October sell-off, right? I think like what we're kind of expecting now is like at the end of the year, markets should technically have this one last big dump. So I think what we should expect is, the retest of the previous highs, which we're already seeing in equities. And then coming into like the end of the year, like December 31st, it seems like we should expect a big sell-off. Obviously, these things aren't perfect and markets can do whatever it wants. But if you look at the kind of entire year, the jam barometer has been pretty accurate for this year in terms of the price action. So I am expecting to see another big dump coming in at the end of the year here. So I think this could be setting us up for a trap in current price action right now. If we look at equities right now, this one, so we got that October sell-off, right? And now we kind of got that recovery that we were kind of expecting. And then coming into that end of the year, December 31st, we are expecting one more big sell-off. So while we're in the short reload zone here, we should expect to see some kind of weakness, some sort of, if double top starts coming in here, then I would be definitely concerned for the bulls. But for now, it seems like, we had this V-bottom recovery. Market still wants to keep trying to rally. I think the market is front-running the FOMC next week. So the market is... the consensus is they are going to cut the rates next week. And so I think the market is trying to price that in right now. Plus, QT just ended 2 days ago. So I think there's some positivity in that. And so I think we're just going to flirt around here for a little bit, retest these previous all-time highs. If we can break above the all-time highs, then that'd be good. Otherwise, if we do just kind of flirt around here, I do expect to see some kind of sell-off as we get closer to the end of the year. But if we're lucky, maybe we're not, and we can just kind of keep going higher, which is, what we would all like to see. But yeah, so far, it looks okay. I mean, it was looking a bit weak on Monday. Obviously, now prices are kind of, consolidating. If we can form some kind of like W or double bottom structure while we're up here, that can kind of push that trend continuation type setup for us. Otherwise, I don't really have much of a setup or anything here. So just monitoring it for now. If we go over to crypto is starting to get more and more exciting for me. We were talking about this level for quite some time now, this reload zone. We got this big sell-off coming into the beginning of the week, and then we had this really nice recovery the last couple of days. And then now, if you look at it, we actually got this nice double bottom in price, which is what we're always trying to hunt for. It's within a reload zone, our 61.8 to 78.6. We had bullish divergences. Nice. We had oversold conditions. Nice. And so we have all three pieces that you need for a full set. You got location, you got momentum, and you got structure. And so for me, I think this is a trade setting up right now. I think you can probably do like a quick little 2-to-1 swing trade, perhaps potentially. If you look, you got the 200 SMA just right above there at that pretty much take profit level. And so I think it's pretty realistic, if prices are to come back and flirt around these previous all-time highs, coming back into that 100K reload zone for the short side. And I'm definitely feeling more bullish because now we got pretty much everything we need for this market to run.
I don't know what other negative news are going to come out. Obviously, the big talk is Russia, Ukraine. How is that going to go? Is there going to be another war with Europe and Russia? I don't know. But things are starting to be quite good. I think QE is also starting, right?
I don't know if QE is starting, but QT is ended.
QT officially ended yesterday, I believe. I got a.
Oh, there we go. So QE is going to start, and the money printer is going to go crazy.
Well, let's see. Let's see when they actually.
It's going to take some time. So because QT officially stopped, and I got an article, we'll go a little more in depth on this. That doesn't mean QT is done officially today. That means they're not going to be adding anymore. Last time they stopped QT, it was almost a month later before the stuff they already had in motion was finished and wrapped up. So throughout this month, there could still be a little more QT, a little more adding to the books. But then within the next month, that's going to be done. They're officially not adding anything new, but if there's anything that was already underway, that's going to continue here. QE could start immediately. It could start a month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now. I don't think they're going to wait that long. If they want to see QE have an effect, a downstream effect on the actual, economy and actual, voters' pockets, they're going to need to start that fairly quickly because it will take a few months, before the impacts of QE are felt in the markets. It's not something they can afford to wait till next summer to do and still think it's going to have an influence on the elections.
Yeah. So let's see. I mean, I think everything is kind of pointing for the markets to rally here. TA wise, it looks good. This is kind of what we've been kind of waiting for weeks. You don't really get these kind of perfect setups on these kind of big names all the time. So I'm hoping we can at least get to that 38.2, that 98K area. Hopefully we can break past that and we can at least rally back into the short reload zone up to the upside here. If we're going based by the Jan barometer, then we should expect to see more of a sell-off coming into the end of the year. But let's see. We might start disconnecting a little bit. Who knows?
I've been actually starting to buy now BTC. I started buying last week, just DCA small amounts here and there. I think overall, my strategy has been when fear and greed is so low, it was all-time low. How far low can we even go from here? Okay, we could go
as low as 0.
No, come on, man. What happened? But I'm serious. Most of my buys, especially a big size, when fear and greed has been this low, they've been pretty profitable, long term.
Yeah, and we're hitting some pretty good levels too. 80, 85 to 80K. Those are pretty nice targets. 80K is around that 88.6. You could have bought some. You could have bought some at the 85, which is at 78.6 level. That's why I really like using these fibs. Good markers for like if you are just kind of looking for DCAs. Yeah, like I did buy some there actually as well, but yeah, I think setup wise though, I think we do have a setup here now. So the market got the confirmation to rally. Now we just need the bulls to step up and people to start buying. So yeah, let's see what happens. Ethereum is also looking pretty good. I would say, same idea. We got the double bottoms starting to come in here. We got the bullish divergences on the MACD, and we did have the oversold conditions hit. And we're not quite in the RLZ. We kind of just like tagged it, and we kind of bounced right out of it. So that part of it is kind of a little bit iffy, I would say, but I can't get the perfect setups all the time. But I do think if this double bottom does start confirming, we do have a good opportunity, at least back to the upside here. Same thing like Bitcoin, looking at these like reload zones as potential targets for the upside if we do start rallying here. And if Ethereum does pretty good here, then I think a lot of these alts and stuff should do pretty well. I think if we look at ETH Bitcoin chart, I think it is trying to bottom here still as well. Yeah, I mean, still within this range of 38.2s. So we'll see how that curves. Ideally, this would curve, and we get that W coming in on there, because then that should really kind of help launch the altcoins a bit higher. But overall, I mean, I think things are looking pretty strong as is. We look at the index here. We've got double tops finally coming in on the stablecoin dominance. We got these pretty big wide W's potentially forming on the alt indexes. And so, I think the market's getting pretty close to some kind of bottom pivot here. I'm feeling more bullish. Charts are looking more bullish to me. And so, I'm pretty long on different names right now. And then if you look across the board,
You sound in danger of becoming a 5-year cycle, man. An extended cycle.
No. I still believe in the 4-year cycle. But, the markets can swing back and give you little trades back and forth. Even in a down market, markets don't just go straight down. You get a lot of kind of back and forth. So, But for now, you just got to follow the charts, man. And the charts to me right now are saying, hey, look, we're trying to put in bottoms here. We got W's coming in everywhere, all against bottom of the ranges. So it is nice to see we are starting to get these W's finally. And they're everywhere. You can find them all around. So it's a matter of just figuring out what names that you guys like, and then just kind of like combining it with like different setups ideas. So like, sorry. So for me, I really like, location, momentum, structure. Location is always going to be your reload zones. Momentum is going to be your bullish divergence, oversold conditions, yada, yada. And then structure is your double bottoms. So those are kind of what I'm hunting for. So SUI is one of these names where you're in the reload zone. You got the double bottom. You got the bullish divergences, and you got the oversold conditions. So that to me is a complete setup. As you can see, it's already kind of fired off. So I wouldn't want to chase it up here. Maybe you can say your bid's kind of right where we had it on that entry point of that W. And so now we're going to wait and see how this plays out. Right now, I mean, we could probably just do like 2-to-1s realistically, these little quick swing trades, but I always try to hit doubles. So, we'll see what happens there. I think what I'll do is probably once it does hit my 2-to-1 risk reward ratio there, I'll probably move my stops to scratch, or maybe just a little bit higher, lock in some profits there. But for now, I think definitely looking pretty bottomy in my opinion there. Link is another one that I was liking as well. Previously I did pretty well buying pretty much down at these lows. Prices are pretty much right back against these previous bottoms. We got pretty much that 78.6 level there. We got 88.6 level defending. We got the bullish divergence. We got the oversold conditions. So we have everything there needed for a setup. Plus, Link is a pretty strong name, pretty good blue chip to have. And yeah, I've done pretty well on this one over the years. So I do think this is pretty much the area of where you would want to be hunting again. So put some bets there. What else was there?
What Tron?
Tron is pretty bad, I would say. I wouldn't want. Just kidding.
And always the Tron.
Tron is hanging there.
I like it. I like this level. I do. They have been doing good revenue, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I wish, like, you know, if we were measuring from the bottom to top, right? You know, your reload zones would be way down here. Obviously, that's a bit too high. So if we're just doing a range from this low to this high, reload zone is just right below. I mean, I guess we're pretty close to it. But for me personally, like, I think I would want to wait a bit more for Tron. Maybe at least wait till this W kind of forms. As you can see, it is trying, right? It is trying to form. So I think we're just like right there. So we need that breakout of that neckline right here. So yeah, until we break out of there, I don't really necessarily would want to touch it, but you do have some bullish divergences that's confirmed back here. We did hit oversold conditions as well. So I think really, you know, once we get that double bottom, you could try to hit it. But yeah, I would like it cheaper, to be honest. A little bit lower, within the reload zone at least. But I guess it is kind of playing against these previous structure right here on our left here. So there is some activity to be held there.
Jan's been on Justin Sun's payroll for a while now.
I'm pretty sure he is.
It's Chinese, man. You don't have to go against them.
No, definitely you don't fuck with the Chinese, that's for sure. Well,
No, you have
the
Justin
Pippin?
Sun owning 90% of the supply.
This
Like,
is what the Chinese do. This is what, like, seriously, this is like all Chinese people. You don't fuck with Chinese people, guys. This is what they'll do to you.
Dude, the funding rate must be pretty good on Pippin.
Probably.
Is this
I
a
mean,
meme?
this is
I
crazy.
haven't followed up at all. What is this? Is this a meme?
Yeah, it's a meme coin. So there's like the Chinese cabals are at it again. They're just finding, I don't know, low liquidity kind of stuff and just slamming it. I'm really hoping they do it with this one. I was looking at this act and I was like, oh, maybe this one could be an X. Just bottom of the range there, but it's not really the best trade. So just like looking around. But yeah, I mean, I think like if you can just find W's like against bottom of the ranges, right? Like even this, I don't even know what the fuck this thing does. What is this? R-weave, I think, maybe. But like you can see like bottoms are trying to form here. So anything with like W's, I think those are going to be your best bet. Anything that does not have W's yet, you're probably just better off waiting till you get those W's. But you can see like all these like random shit coins are starting to try to bottom here, right? So I do feel more bullish. I don't know if this is going to be a fake out and this is just like, you know, the market's just kind of tired of all the relentless selling that we just had for weeks, for months almost, it feels like. But you know, end of the year has always been a very profitable time to buy. And bottoms generally usually come in at the end of the year. And then going into the New Year's and spring, you usually can take some pretty decent profits. So I am loading up some bets here. I feel like we should be a little bit more aggressive perhaps. Because again, we are like, you know, these are all pretty much on their knees. And you got these really nice W's starting to come in. And you got the momentum signals, confirmations. So yeah, so I think it's just really a matter of like which ones that you like, what names that you want, and then making sure those names have, those double bottoms. It's got, bullish divergences, and at least maybe oversold conditions. Even Solana is starting to look good here. You got W's coming in. You got the reload zone. You got bullish divergences, oversold conditions. So yeah, I do see like a lot of names starting to look pretty good. Even Aave, like fuck, man, I actually missed that breakout, and that's looking really strong now. Yeah, I think we're in for like an all run here, to be honest. Especially like because Bitcoin
Don't
is
say that yet.
good
Don't
right
say that yet. You're too early.
now. I mean, it looks good, man. I don't know. I'm like, there's one thing I'm good at is finding bottoms, and like fuck, even Mantle. I was looking at Mantle. This one was starting to, if we can start getting that W here, right across that neckline there, this could be a really good trade. Big bullish divergence, oversold conditions. Yeah, like honestly, and nobody is really paying attention to the market right now. Like you said, fear and greed index is low. Most people are they're fucking done. Like they've given up. Most people don't think the markets are going to come back to life here. Even I was kind of in that boat of like, oh, okay, I think the markets we're done for the rest of the year. But now, looking at how things are kind of shaping up here, I am getting bullish again. And I am buying. Like I'm out here buying and shit. Like we still have our Pendle position open. Pendle's looking decent. Athena is also starting to put in W's. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm scared to be this bullish, but I'm also like my trade setups there. I gotta just take the trade setups, ignore all the emotions, skip all your biases, just trade the setups and trust in your setups. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I think, yeah, good word of caution for people that are watching. If you're not to misunderstand this, Andrew's not saying this is a market reversal. We're going back to new all-time highs. Bull market's back on. He's saying these are good trade setups. So yeah, I don't think don't want to confuse people. If you're not a trader, this might not be the best time for you. If you're looking for a quick flip, great. But there's probably still more downside ahead of us. Maybe not in the immediate short term. But looking into Q1, probably some more selling coming. So just want to make sure. Some people get a little confused there.
It's not financial advice, but I'm buying a lot of shit right now. So you can either copy me and lose money with me or make some money. Let's see what happens.
I do think there's some good opportunities in poly market at the moment. Like, for example, the 100K. You could basically buy a 100K call. And sell it once it hits. So obviously we're betting now in the end of the 2025. What will the price be? I do think like there's actually very good like opportunities to make free money. Like for example, in 30 days will BTC hit 130K. Obviously, I don't think it's gonna hit. If you are trying to get a good yield, like 3% a month is more than 40% a year. So if you can spot trades like this, I think you can make pretty good actually money like in the long term. And I think a lot of people are understanding this game. Like, would you bet that BTC will hit $150,000 in 30 days? I think no. So you could make actually $1 on your $100. In the long term, this is actually a lot. This is like 12% to 30% a year. Like if you can find opportunities like this. So I think also moving forward, we should be covering a little bit about what's happening on the poly market side. But yeah, I do think there's some like undervalued opportunities here that could happen.
Check out the rate cuts. There's a good one in rate cuts as well. Right now, I think we looked at this maybe a week or so. Yeah, the Fed rate cut decision. If you hedge And it might have gone down now that, oh yeah, it's at 93%. So it might not be there as good. But previously, it's the wrong one. It's how many rate cuts in 25. I'm talking about the December 10th one in a week here. But previously, you could bet $100 on the 25 basis point cuts, which is pretty much a lock at this point, and get like $120. And you could bet $20 on the 50 basis point cuts. If the 50 basis point cut hits, you win like $1,400. And if the 25 base cut hits, you break even. So it's kind of almost like a free bet to have the possibility to win $1,500. Now, obviously, there's the outside chance that they do no rate cut, and then you lose your $120. But I think that's a pretty slim chance of that happening. It's almost a free bet. Yeah, not financial advice, also not gambling advice, but there's some really interesting stuff out there.
I do agree. Like I've seen more and more. Like I went quite deep the past 2 days just to understand like how this works. But yeah, there's a site called Polymarket Trades. You can see all the traders who are active, what's their win rate, and so forth. There are some pretty good traders that have like 17,000, over 10,000 trades, and they're just basically making these zero-sum games. And as you guys know, if you are a trader and you are betting on different markets, if you have a win rate of, let's say, 55 to 65%, you can actually make pretty decent money. Obviously, it depends your strategy, but not a financial advice. I think pretty interesting stuff. I mean, this is basically call options for dumb people like us.
Simplified call options. We're simple men.
Simple men, huh?
For the average guy.
Average Joe like me can understand. Okay.
That's right. All right. Well, we're ready to hop in a few stories here.
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, probably top of the news feed for most people right now. Federal Reserve officially ends QT. That happened yesterday. Now, something to keep in mind. We kind of alluded at this a little bit earlier. A great post here by Benjamin Cohen. 2019, get out of here. In 2019, the Fed announced that QT would end August 1st. The balance sheet of the Fed continued to drop in August despite QT officially ending. Because the last round of the Treasury maturities did not settle till mid-August. So just because we saw QT ending officially yesterday doesn't mean that they're not going to continue to sell off some of the items on their balance sheet. If they already had these plays in place, that can continue for the next month or so. But as far as of yesterday, they're not going to be cutting anything new or planning any new cuts on their balance sheet. The big question is, when does QE begin? Because if you look historically at all this stuff, QT is obviously important. You can't start to QE till you stop QT. But there is no market impact. There is no rebound in the markets. There is no money moving out of or into risk on assets until we really start to see that QE number ramping up. Now we have seen a few stories here with banks dumping in. I think it was over the weekend. What do they call that? It's essentially the overnight lending rates. But the banks are in trouble. Let's put it that way. And so the Fed dumped, I think it was like 13 or 14 billion into the banks to help keep their overnight lending rates from going upside down or whatever exactly it was. I don't remember, but a lot of issues in the banks. We covered last week. The unrealized losses for banks is nearing $400 billion in the U.S. at the moment. So there's a lot of impetus right now in the macro that is indicating we're going to need to see the Fed pivot hard, and we're going to need to see QE start soon, or there is some kind of some major catastrophes looming in the background with job markets, with what's happening in the bank industry, et cetera, et cetera. So I would expect them to start rolling QE out here sooner rather than later, and ramping it up fairly quickly. So kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, I'm still a big fan of all the theories around the 5-year cycle with the ISM charts, the lengthening of the liquidity cycle due to COVID, and a lot of the maturity rates being pushed back a year, going from 4 years to 5 years. Obviously, it hasn't been proven yet. It's still a theory. There's a lot of people in the 4-year cycle camp. In fact, majority of people still in the 4-year cycle camp. But to me, it looks like it would line up. If you go back to the last cycle when we had the double top, we saw a 56% drawdown from when it peaked in the early spring. It took 6 months to reach a new all-time high again. I think with everything that's starting to play out in the macro environment, that type of scenario makes a lot of sense to me. That would put us somewhere in April, mid Q1. That have plenty of time for more rate cuts to kick in. QE would be in full swing there. All of the push that's going to be going towards elections to keep the markets up would be rolling. Stimulus checks could be out. Maybe I'm just trying to have a little hopium here, but I don't know. My hopes for a bullish 2026 are still very much in play here. I know not everybody on this call even is in the same camp as me, but plenty of people out there, seeing similar stuff. Kobayashi letter, Trump saying stocks will be at all-time highs, 600 billion a year in the Magnificent Seven. Fed cutting interest rates, global AI infrastructure spending at $1+ trillion a year. QT stopping, QE starting, all the stuff we've talked about. It's a lot of momentum in the markets to fight here. James Cole also, pretty popular account here, saying very similar. Lots of bullish stuff happening on the macro environment. Yet chart, on the other hand, TA analysis, not as positive. So I think, again, we've got the 4-year and the 5-year camps, and those camps are also kind of dividing in. Okay, 4-year guys are saying, look at the charts. 5-year guys are saying, look at the macro environment. It's looking bullish to me still, but time will tell. What are you guys' thoughts there?
I would argue that the TA is starting to look good right now. I would argue that the TA is kind of pointing towards up market, at least short term wise. Like we went through like examples of Bitcoin and ETH. Things do look like they're trying to bottom here. You look at equities are already coming back to the all-time highs. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are pointing for 2026 to look bullish. My big thing is like the whole midterm thing. The midterm election is going to be a big thing for us. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, it's really hard to predict at this point. Everything's been so like unusual. So it's really hard for me to determine it. But I think if you just go by the charts alone, like things are trying to bottom here. So feeling bullish today.
I think we're gonna hold my fear and greed. Like usually when we go this low, we need to bounce back. But I am excited about 2026. Don't get me wrong. I still think we have some bullish momentum. The election is coming. Obviously, the QT stopped, so we need to start printing money. But yeah, Europe situation with Ukraine war and Russia war, it's gonna be affecting everything. And obviously, we have also the AI bubble. We have more analysts coming out and saying like this spending on AI can't go on forever. So I don't know. I do expect some kind of bounce in VC world also.
Also, they could be hunting Michael Blurry's big short positions right now. So that's the other thing too, where the Wall Street's kind of like, fuck you, I'm gonna liquidate you, make you a fool in front of everybody. Because anytime you get these big kind of characters coming out publicly, shorting shit, they don't do super well. So also, Benner cycle, right? Benner cycle does point 2026 as the profit taking years, and that's generally because everything is up. And so if we're going by cycle studies, I do think that could be a big help for us there.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. It's just really funny right now. I see everybody, all the guys that are big TA guys, they're like, might get a nice bounce here, but 2026 macro's not looking good. And then all the guys that are more like macro based are like, 2026 is going to be so fucking bullish. So, I'm trying to, kind of what we ended with last Thursday was, I'm happy either way. If we, a year from now, either we'll be at, maybe 30K or 300K. If we're at 30K, sweet. Lifetime buying opportunity for Bitcoin and all the top alts. If we're at 300K, obviously I'm happy. All of us are. So, that's kind of my perspective going into this. I'm making my plan for the markets to go either way. I'm not a trader, so I'm only looking for big moves anyway. So if we pump, great. I'll take some profits. If we dump, cool. Looking to buy more and fill more in DCA and continue to wait till the next cycle comes around and I can cash in then. So maybe someday I'll be a trader and be more worried about the short term. But for now, just going to continue to take the big opportunities as they come.
Yeah, no, fuck the short term, man. It's so stressful. Just thinking like the 5-year horizon, like it makes things so much easier. Go look at weekly charts, make it so much smoother. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, your swings are not going to be that crazy. If you're trading daily, even like on minute, 15 minutes, 4 hour, whatever, like, you're going to have a lot of swings. But yeah, obviously the weekly chart and daily chart gives you a very good indication. Plus, if you have fear and greed and some other metrics, I think you can make pretty good money. Just don't be greedy.
Yeah, don't be greedy. I agree. And manage your risk carefully. Don't go all in on one trade. Like, yeah.
Keep it under 100x leverage.
99x.
Play it
Max.
safe.
Yeah.
The money on the sidelines, money market here, new all-time high, $8 trillion mark. These are people parked in that easy 5% government treasury notes there. But as rates continue to drop, that money is going to go away. Big question is, where is all this money gonna go? Typically, when rates start to get cut and that easy, cheap 5% goes away, we see that money come back into risk on assets. That's a lot of money to come into risk on assets. That could make I don't see that coming in as a trickle. I don't think, within the next year, they're going to trickle rates down. I think we're going to see rates smash down in 2026. It's a lot of money. Even a small portion of that coming into crypto would send things to a very, very a lot of green candles, baby.
8 trillion. That's quite a bit. That's like, what is that? 3 times the size of our crypto market cap right now.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
3x from here would be great.
Yeah, and we're seeing more and more bullish stuff on the regulatory side. Chairman Paul Atkins confirming that the crypto innovation exemption is launching in January 26. It's going to protect projects will then be able to launch tokens and products fast with full SEC registration for the first time ever. This has been a huge issue over the past, pretty much 8 years until Trump got elected. It's eased off since then, but there's been no regulatory clarity until hopefully in January. But previously, it's pushed pretty much all organizations, all crypto outside of the U.S. It was de facto illegal. The few companies that stuck around, Kraken, Coinbase, et cetera, we saw what kind of legal hell they had to go through to even stay alive. What Kraken's paid $40-50 million in fees for stuff that is now legal. But at the time it was, regulated by, it was lawfare, not, they wouldn't refuse to actually clarify guidelines and stuff. So this goes a long ways to bring confidence back to the markets in the US, where we can start to innovate and build products, build crypto companies within the United States, instead of having to move all that talent and all that money offshore. So bullish for the crypto market. There's a ton of liquidity, ton of smart people, a ton of money. The other big VCs, obviously Silicon Valley, et cetera, all in the US that haven't really been able to play this market as much as they'd like to. So big step in the right direction from the SEC there.
I don't know, man. I do think still that the SEC is not doing their work. I think we had a scam season. And
make it miss.
Yeah, I don't know. SEC, I don't know, man. But anyway, let's see.
Yeah, no, I agree. They do more harm than good, but at least there was
it's to the right direction for sure. I do agree.
Yeah, 100%. I'm all for getting rid of these pseudo government organizations, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. More news on the strategic Bitcoin bill. A new strategic reserve bill has been introduced to Congress. Bill will allow taxes to be paid in Bitcoin. Don't be an idiot, pay your taxes in Bitcoin. And no capital gains tax for crypto. Love the second half of that. The first half of that, why would you do that? Like, if your only income is in crypto, if you're making all your money in crypto, okay, you don't have a choice. But if you're trying to pay your tax bill in crypto and you have fiat, like, why would you do that? Why would you sell an appreciating asset when you could use a depreciating one? I don't get that, but I've been very vocal about buying Shake Shack and Starbucks with Bitcoin. But the second half of this, no capital gains tax, that's a big win. Love that.
This is good. This is like in Thailand, if you have BTC and you kept cashing out, it's basically tax free. And overall, I think Asia is far ahead from Europe and US with taxes at the moment. Obviously, that's why I'm living in Asia. But yeah.
Are you tax evading? Is that what you're saying, sir?
What are you saying? It's called planning. It's called smart.
This obviously still has to pass. It's a long ways from that. Would be great to see if it gets through. Probably a bit of an uphill battle here, but could as early as next year have no capital gains tax on Bitcoin and potentially other crypto within the United States. Imagine what that does, though. Even if you're an investor, if you're a big fund, even if you're not super bullish on Bitcoin, if it's tax free, can you imagine how much money people are going to start chucking in that? It's tax free. Like, even if I get a lower return on Bitcoin, but I don't get hit with capital gains tax, you're laughing. I think if this gets passed, get ready for a massive pump in Bitcoin as people start dumping cash in there.
Yeah, I'd be surprised though, because like Uncle Sam always wants to get paid. I'm surprised. Yeah, surprised they would want that. That's crazy.
Well, this wasn't the one I was looking for, but there's another in a speech recently. I think it was the same speech, just a little bit later. Trump has been for a while floating the idea of getting rid of the income tax.
It's never gonna happen. I think that's just wild talk. That's no way now. I can't believe that.
A girl can dream, all right.
A girl can dream for sure. No, I'm with you, man. I'd love to not have to pay any taxes.
Yeah, there's other ways they'd be going around this. So income tax would be, on the individuals. There'll still be things like corporate income tax. I think what Trump is really starting to try to do is push more of the tariff stuff to eliminate income taxes. There's plenty of countries around the world that still currently do that. Places like Dubai, etc. Obviously, there are quite a different situation with all the oil money they have there, etc. But until the 1920s, the U.S. didn't have an income tax. We survived for most of our history. Or a good portion of our history anyways, without an income tax. There are definitely ways to continue to fund the U.S. government without a federal and state income tax. Now, obviously, state income tax probably would be up to the individual state. Some states already don't have income tax. Funny how it's usually the ones that are the most profitable states that don't have income tax, whereas the ones who are the most deficits have massive taxes. Go figure. So I definitely think it can work on a federal level. Will it ever get passed? That's a very dubious prospect, but girl can dream. No crypto, no tax on Bitcoin, and no income tax. Can you imagine?
Oh, that'd be great.
Andrew would be praying for Canada to become the 51st state at that point.
That's true. I would.
So I mean, a lot of fun stuff to speculate about here. What's coming over the next 6 to 12 months. Charts are not looking great, but man, I still am just very, very bullish on this industry and the future for crypto.
I think chart looks great. I think the chart looks great right now.
In the short term.
I am calling a bottom here, guys. Let's go.
Hey, I'm all for it. V-shaped recovery, new all-time highs. Blow up Q1, Q2, Q3 next year. Let's do it.
Yeah. No, I'm so bullish right now. It's crazy. Just like how I was super bearish a couple weeks ago, I am super bullish now.
Well, this guy's bearish, and he might be the new head of the Fed here before
Who's this dork?
We've had a lot of different guys that have been floated. In fact, as a poly market, let's see the poly market bid on who's going to be the next Fed head here.
There's so many people now. What the hell?
Yeah, here we go. Who will Trump nominate as the Fed chair? This has been switching. If you look at a lot back and forth here. So Christopher Waller, Scott Bassett, these guys were two top runners earlier. Howard Lutnick, way back like 9 months ago, was supposed to be the next guy. Now it's Kevin Hassett. The good thing, I don't know a lot about all these guys, but all of these guys that have been floated recently, Christopher Waller, Kevin Hassett, Scott Bassett, Howard Lutnick, these are all very, very pro-Bitcoin, pro-crypto guys. They're all for cutting rates massively. They're all for, pushing the innovation in Bitcoin. So I don't know who is going to get in. I don't know if any of these are a good bet right now. Any of these kind of, these long shots here. But I think the real winner is going to be all of crypto. Whoever gets in, all of these guys seem very, very bullish on crypto. Now, if you remember back to Mr. Gary Gensler, we said the exact same thing about that prick, how he was supposed to be all super pro crypto, taught blockchain at MIT, knows the industry, and he turned out to be just an absolute turd. So you never know, but. All things are looking good with whoever is the next chair to replace Mr. JP. I think big question, I'm sure there's another poly market bet out there. Is JP going to go full term and make it to May, or is Trump going to get him out of there before that? I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think this is pretty obvious. Like if Trump is promoting someone, I think Kevin has been very on top of there, and I don't care who really goes there, to be honest. Crypto is still going to be very bullish. All of the legal stuff that the Trump administration has done, I think it's going to last. But yeah, I I hope the money machine will go and start printing.
You want the machine to go? You want the $20 coffees? Okay, let's go.
I'm paying for it already.
Yeah, that's been a lot of speculation as well. With the U.S., our 2-year cycles is, what happens when in 3 more years if Trump gets out and a Democrat gets in? Are they going to reverse all of this? Obviously, there is the potential for that. I think it's very unlikely when you look at the amount of money that is now being brought into Web3. If you look at the all of the integrations, every single top bank, every single top fund are dumping money, not only from an investment perspective, a technology development perspective. They're hiring whole departments of people. They're building their own blockchains. They're lobbying to have stablecoin innovations pushed through. Like there's too much money being invested from the biggest, the people that really run the economy. And run the country for the Democrats to come in and completely flip everything around. They'd be going against every fund, every bank, all the lobbyists, and literally billions, probably at that point, trillions of dollars that have been invested into this industry. I can't see them coming in and flipping this around. Obviously, they may change some things, but for them to come back and pull the stablecoin laws, put in a central bank digital currency, reverse the security laws, take away the Bitcoin ETFs, like that is completely far-fetched to me. I don't see that happening.
I mean, it'd be crazy for them to do that. Like, what a waste of time and money. It's like,
yeah, that's what I mean. It's too much money and too many powers. Banks, funds, etc. You have the largest fund managers in the world. BlackRock. Just the one of them that has been a stick in the mud. Vanguard finally coming out a few days ago, saying that they're now going to allow their clients to buy Bitcoin crypto ETFs starting on today, actually, right? Vanguard's been super, super bearish on these guys. And again, typical TradFi move. We talked about kind of what JP Morgan was trying to do with MicroStrategy, push the price down so they can get good entry. Well, Vanguard's been saying for weeks, months now, Bitcoin doesn't belong in a long-term portfolio, not a store of value. Well, now making a complete 180 on that. Weird when Bitcoin is dumped down almost 40% to 80K. So again, big, very, very typical TradFi kind of manipulative play here. But JP Morgan, Bank of America, Vanguard, BlackRock, you name it. They're all got their dirty mitts deep in the crypto pockets now. So I don't see them coming out regardless if it's Republicans or Democrats at the helm in 3 years from now.
Yeah, it's good to see that.
Banking is still one of the biggest problems overall. It will never change, and I think the overall banking system will just be destroyed eventually.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
What else? I think there's one or two other stories to look at here. We covered most of this. Oh, here we go. This is Ethereum. That's a big one. The Ethereum hard fork, Fusaka, the new upgrade, starting today. It's supposed to start today, probably in like US or European time zone. So a few more hours to go before that. But the EIP 7951, your phone's built-in security chip like Apple Security Enclave can now sign Ethereum transactions natively and affordably. I don't know if that's good or bad. Sounds cool though. But this new upgrade is supposed to make the Ethereum chain faster, more secure. They're starting to add in all kinds of privacy capabilities, as Vitalik has been very, very staunch supporter of the privacy movement. Saying over the next year or two, they are going to make Ethereum, the base layer, a native privacy layer for security and scalability concerns, which we've covered that a few times over here. But big day today. Timing well with this nice pump. I should have bought over the weekend like I was planning to. I didn't. But it's all right. I think, what are we at? 3,200 for Ethereum at the moment. Still probably not a bad entry, especially.
No, I think now it's probably better. I mean, you're getting confirmation of structure now.
Yeah, true. But I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to pump. I looked into my crystal ball. I should have got it. Should have got it at 2,700.
You shouldn't have been fooling around on the beaches on the weekend, sir.
Yeah, I should have.
Should have been focused.
Now I'm FOMOing. Now I'm going to FOMO and I'm going to make a bad emotional decision. I'm going to lose all my money.
No, it's not too late, guys.
But yeah, lots of
cool. Like being like the big thing here is like it's not replacing Ledger or Keystone. It's just like they scan their face, tap send, done. Like that's like the biggest thing with most people with retail is like the whole setting up a wallet, getting the private keys, and blah blah blah. Like even though it's not that hard and difficult, like most people are just lazy. So like having this extra feature of just being able to just like connect, send, that's gonna be big.
Yeah, and I think for the market's come a long ways, the UX UI has come a long ways for top tokens, for your blue chip alts. If you want to go buy Link or Ethereum or whatever, like you can go on Uniswap relatively easily and safely, make some transactions. They've got a lot of great features built in there. If you get out of the top 20, it's a whole different story. But you have to start switching networks and it's only listed on this weird exchange or this weird DEX, or there's no liquidity here. You got to fucking you want to buy it's in the virtuals ecosystem. Well, first you got to go get the virtuals token and figure out where the fuck they have liquidity for this random AI that's new tech or new token that's coming out that's supposed to pump, and you got to figure out how to get that. That's where even experienced degens like myself want to smash my computer. So done a good job with the top blue chips. Outside of that, we got a long ways to go still.
Mm-hmm.
But stuff like this, bit by bit, piece by piece, we'll get there. I'm confident. I believe in us. Jan. Don't be bearish.
Bullish.
I'm so bullish, boys. It's so crazy. I haven't been this bullish in a while.
It's all part of the 5-year plan, boys. 5-year plan. Take over the whole industry.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Excuse me. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you today. We'll be back on Thursday, following up a lot of these stories. We will know more about QT and QE by then, I am sure. This market moves fast. there'll be a ton of new breaking stories coming out by then. Hopefully no new hacks this week. I think the last 3 weeks, we've had a hack every single week. So let's hope everybody stays safe over the next couple days here. Oh, sorry. We'll be back on Friday. Today we had to move our schedule around to some things. So today's now our normal Tuesday. This is a Wednesday. So we'll be back on Friday this week here. There was one other thing I wanted to mention, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, we will also have a new M&A listing to cover with you. So definitely tune in for that. Maybe we'll treat you early before we jump into the charts. We'll make you wait and give you the new M&A listing at the top of the show. But mix it up a little bit here. Yeah, that's all I got for you today. Andrew, any parting words of wisdom you want to pass on to our lovely viewers?
Yeah, make sure, sorry?
I said 216 viewers today. That's a new record for us while we're live. Obviously, our recordings often get more views than that, but shout out to everybody that tuned in today.
Actually, we hit 250 when you had to bail that day. But no, this is great.
and surprisingly, a lot of them, or the vast majority of them, 3/4 of them are coming in on YouTube. So shout out to YouTube. I think when we're live, we get a lot more love from YouTube. And then in post, watching the recordings, I think that's where a lot of our ex-viewers come in.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, obviously, make sure you are up to date with your trading plans. If you don't have one, you should probably set yourself up one. Trade your trade setups. Don't risk all your eggs in one basket. And happy hunting. It looks like we got some temporary bottoms starting to come in here. So have some fun out there.
Good luck, everybody. We'll see you on Friday.
Talk to you guys later.
If you talk to Jan, tell him not to be a bear.
Not gonna work.